Even though the launch of the Galaxy S26 series is 6 months away, its several details have been revealed already. A few days ago, it was reported that the Galaxy S26 Ultra's primary camera will use a slightly modified 200-megapixel sensor. Now, it is being claimed that the phone will bring much better performance in low-light situations. According to Tipster at Universais, the Galaxy S26 Ultra's primary rear camera boasts a 200-megapixel ISOCELL HP2 sensor paired with a significantly wider aperture f1.4. This combination should enable the phone to capture images and videos with reduced noise and enhanced details, particularly in mixed and low-light conditions. As a result, users can expect fewer smearing issues in images and videos. Additionally, the wider aperture allows capturing images and videos with a shallower depth of field. Ultra's primary camera, which has an f1.9 aperture. A previous report claimed that the phone will have variable aperture, so if a user wants a flatter image in bright conditions such as for landscape shots, a narrower aperture could be used. Moreover, since the phone would be able to capture more light, the camera's shutter needs to stay open for a shorter amount of time, theoretically resulting in fewer instances of images being captured with motion blur issues. If Samsung achieves that, it will be able to solve one of the biggest issues found on Samsung's smartphone cameras. Two new leaks could spell good news for the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, as they point to improvements to both the main camera and the phone's charging speed. First up, leaker at Universais claims that the Galaxy S26 Ultra's primary camera will be able to capture 47% more light than the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultras, leading to the biggest improvement in image quality in recent years. This is despite the phone reportedly having the same 200-megapixel ISOCELL HP2 sensor as last year. Instead, it's tipped to have a wider f1.4 aperture, presumably thanks to a new lens. A wider aperture allows for more light, and the more light that can hit the sensor, the more detail it can capture, particularly in low-light photos. This should also help reduce noise in low-light shots. This isn't a completely new claim from at Universais, but here they've gone into more detail than before, saying the exact aperture and increase in light capture. Of course, we'd take this with a pinch of salt until we've heard the same from more sources, but this leaker does have a good track record. At Universais also has more to say about the Galaxy S26 Ultra. In a recent post on Weibo via Android Authority, they claim that the S26 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery with 60W charging. That would mean the same battery capacity as the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but charging power would be boosted from 45W. This also isn't a new claim, but they've once again gone into more detail than before, adding that the phone will be capable of charging to 75% or 80% in half an hour. Even though the official launch of the Galaxy S26 series is still approximately 6 months away, numerous details about the upcoming smartphones have already surfaced online through various leaks and insider reports. Among the most anticipated devices in the lineup is the Galaxy S26 Ultra, and tech enthusiasts are eagerly watching every new development. One of the most exciting revelations is related to the Ultra model's primary camera system, which seems poised to receive significant improvements, especially in the realm of low-light photography and video capture. A recent leak from well-known industry insider at Universais suggests that the Galaxy S26 Ultra will continue to use a 200-megapixel ISOCELL HP2 sensor as its primary rear camera. While this is technically the same sensor used in the Galaxy S25 Ultra, the performance of the camera is expected to be vastly enhanced due to the incorporation of a new, significantly wider aperture, reportedly f1. This is a substantial upgrade over the f1.9 aperture found in the current Ultra model. A wider aperture allows more light to reach the sensor, enabling the camera to capture images and video with greater detail, less noise, and better dynamic range, particularly in challenging lighting conditions. The benefits of this wider aperture extend beyond just light capture. It also enables shallower depth of field effects, creating more pronounced background blur, which is especially desirable in portrait photography. Additionally, a wider aperture means the shutter doesn't need to stay open as long to gather sufficient light. This can reduce motion blur, a common issue when shooting in low light or capturing moving subjects. If Samsung successfully optimizes these capabilities, it could resolve one of the long-standing challenges associated with its smartphone cameras, smearing and loss of detail in low-light or fast-action scenarios. Adding to the camera improvements, earlier reports suggested that the Galaxy S26 Ultra might feature a variable aperture system. Such a system would allow the aperture to automatically adjust based on lighting conditions. For example, in bright daylight, the camera could switch to a narrower aperture to capture sharper landscape shots with a deeper depth of field, while in low-light settings, it could use the wider f1.4 aperture to gather more light. In addition to advancements in camera technology, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is also expected to receive a notable upgrade in charging speed. According to the same leaker, the new phone will retain a 5,000 mAh battery, the same capacity as its predecessor, but the charging speed will be increased to 60 watts. This is an improvement over the 45-watt charging capability of the Galaxy S25 Ultra. If accurate, this would allow the device to reach approximately 75% to 80% charge in just 30 minutes, significantly reducing charging times for users. These leaks, while promising, should be treated with cautious optimism until official announcements are made. However, Universe Ice has a strong track record for accurate leaks, and if these details prove correct, the Galaxy S26 Ultra could represent one of the most meaningful upgrades in Samsung's flagship smartphone lineup in recent years, both in terms of camera capabilities and user convenience through faster charging. Beyond camera and charging improvements, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is also expected to feature other refinements aimed at enhancing the overall user experience. For example, the device will likely continue Samsung's trend of using premium materials, such as an aluminum frame and Gorilla Glass protection for both front and back. It is also anticipated that the display will see incremental upgrades, potentially offering even higher brightness levels and improved color accuracy, maintaining Samsung's reputation for industry-leading screen technology. On the software front, the phone will likely launch with the latest version of Samsung's One UI, based on the newest Android version. With improvements in artificial intelligence and computational photography, the camera's performance could be further optimized, taking advantage of the increased light capture made possible by the wider aperture. Additionally, Samsung may refine other key features such as audio quality, haptic feedback, and durability, potentially including better water and dust resistance. While much of the focus remains on camera and battery advancements, these smaller but meaningful enhancements could contribute to making the Galaxy S26 Ultra a well-rounded and competitive flagship. As always, further confirmation is expected closer to the launch, but the early signs point to a device that could raise the bar across multiple categories.